Erev Torah B'tai. As we said yesterday, we're going to continue talking now about the coming up next week. We have the fast day, Yud Zayin Tammuz, and then we have the 3 weeks. So we have to explain a little bit, right, about what this means and what it is for halakha, everything. So, B'ezrat Hashem, let's start a little bit, right, a little step by step. So it says, right, there's a pasuk in the Sefer Echa. What does it say there? Kol rodefea hisigua ben hametzarim. That's what the pasuk says. So what does this mean? According to the simple meaning of the pasuk, it means that all the ones that were chasing after the Jews, they caught up to them at this time. Ben hametzarim, right? At this time. All the enemies caught up to them. So it's talking over there about, the enemies, the Romans, right? That came to destroy the second temple. They caught up with them at this time of year, right? Which is the 3 weeks, right? Ben hametzarim. So what does that mean, Ben hametzarim? The word Ben hametzarim, it means like this, right? We have two metzarim. What does that mean? Like afflictions. The first one is Yud Zayin Tammuz. Second one is Tisha B'Av. Right? 3 weeks. So this is metzar, and Ben hametzarim is everything in the middle. So altogether you have two fast days, and you have in the middle, right, the 3 weeks. This is called Ben hametzarim. That's why it's called like this. So what does it mean, right? That the Arizal says, according to the Kabbalah, he brings these things, right? He says that whoever is chasing after the Jews, to catch up to them, this is the time that he catches them, these 3 weeks. You know what I mean? So it's not a good mazal for the Jewish people, these 3 weeks. You have to understand that, right? That's what it says also in the Zohar Kadosh. It says that there are 3 months out of the year that were given to Esav. The enemies of the Jews, right? The Romans, right? So 3 months, right? Which ones are those? Tammuz, Av, and the third one is what? Tevet, right? Tevet, which is in the winter. That's when they have their holidays, They're over there. That's why they have their holidays. So those are for Esav, those 3 months. And the 3 months which are good for the Jews, which one is that? Right? Shevat, Adar, and Nisan, right? Those are the three. We already passed them, right? B'ezrat Hashem. We'll get to it again. We'll come back. We'll come back to that next year. B'ezrat Hashem. So that's the way it is, But it says in the Zohar Kadosh, even though Tammuz and Av are not good for the Jewish people, it's good for the Esav, it's their mazal, but he says really, the time that is really, that exact time is from Yud Zayin Tammuz until Tisha B'Av. Those 3 weeks, are especially the time where, it's time for Esav, not time for the Jews, right, this time of year. So therefore, right, this is the reason why the Chazal made all kinds of things, decrees, and minhagim, takanot, in order that we shouldn't feel the punishment, the tsar, right, the suffering from these days. So therefore they made the fast day, right, Ta'anit, Yud Zayin Tammuz, and Tisha B'Av, and all the things that we do, in order that what? That Hashem shouldn't punish us in a different way, We're suffering from those minhagim, So let us suffer from there, and not to suffer, from all kinds of bad things min hashamayim. Right? We don't want that, right? So in order to stop that, in order to avert that, what we do is we do these minhagim, right? That's what we do. So that's why we have all kinds of minhagim that we do, in order to feel the avelut of this time, and also that Hashem shouldn't punish us in a different way. So they say, right, in Masechet Ta'anit, it says over there that there was 5 bad things that happened, on Yud Zayin Tammuz, in the history of Jewish people, right? And also 5 bad things that happened on Tisha B'Av. Right? So we have, they're both days which a lot of bad things happen. So what happened was, right, that the reason why we fast, particularly, right, why do we have Ta'anit on Yud Zayin Tammuz? Because it's the time that the Romans, when they were besieging the city, they had army, right, surrounding it. They were trying to break into the wall, in order to come into the city. So what happened was, right, that this wall was very thick, it was very massive, this wall. Not only that, but it was also built with special kind of material. And it was very hard to break, this wall. So the Romans were standing there, for 3 years trying to break this wall. Can you imagine? They couldn't break it for 3 years. That's what we're talking about. It's incredible, if you think about it. That's how strong the wall was. And there was also a double wall, there was inside wall, outside wall, inner and outside, right? Double, double 2 layers over there, right? So it was very hard to break through it. In the end, what happened was that they broke through. They after 3 years of working, bach, with their special tools. They had special tools. They used to break the wall. 3 years, and then they broke it. So what happened was, after they broke into the wall, they came into the city, into Jerusalem, and they started to, kill people, and ravage, and savage, and rape women, and everything, right? Everything you can imagine, right? Burning down the buildings, burning the synagogues, burning the yeshivot, breaking everything down. Right? This is what happened during this time. 3 weeks. Right? All this time until Tisha B'Av. Right? So what happened? On Tisha B'Av, they came in, they broke into the Temple Mount, the Harabait. Right? And what happened was that they lit the Bet HaMikdash on fire on Tisha B'Av. That's exactly when they lit the Bet HaMikdash. Fire, they burned it down. We also have the 10th of Av, which they say, right, that says in the Talmud, in Masechet Ta'anit, that also 10th of Av is not a good day also. Why is that? Because most of the Bet HaMikdash burnt on the 10th of Av. They lit the fire on 9th of Av, Mincha time, like this time, right, Mincha time. But the most of the building burned on the 10th of Av. So also on 10th of Av, we have also Avelut, a little bit over there, because of this, because of this whole thing. That's what happened, this is the reason why we do all these kinds of Avelut. So, what does that mean, right? That on the 17th of Av, 17th of Tammuz Mechila, we fast, but it's not such a strong fast day like Tisha B'Av. So what does that mean? Right, you're allowed to do all kinds of things, You can take a shower, right? You can, smoke a cigarette. Whoever smokes, right? I hope you don't smoke, but if you do, right, you can smoke a cigarette. Let's say you want to, brush your teeth, as long as you don't swallow it, it's okay. You can do that. There's all kinds of things like this, you're allowed to do. And so it's not so bad, You can also be with your wife, if you want to have relations with your wife that night, Yud Zayin Tammuz, you're allowed. Mutar, right? You can wear leather shoes, right? You don't have to worry about anything like that, right? So all you do is just don't eat and drink, right? That's the only thing that we have, Yud Zayin Tammuz. And also, we don't do it like Tisha B'Av, which is 24 hours. Here it's only starting from the morning, from Amud HaShachar, right? We're starting in the morning. But not 24 hours, right? It's it's 12 hours basically, right? That's what it is, But it's a long day, so it's a little bit more, like 14 hours, 15 hours, something like that. Because it's a summer day, long day. So it's a little bit more. That's the way it is, So we're fasting for that amount of time, and then, right, what happens is that during the 3 weeks also, there's some minhagim, that we don't do certain things, because of the avelut, that, as we mentioned, right? So the truth is, that. I have to tell you, that we're not so strict, like stringent with the 3 weeks like the Ashkenazim. The Ashkenazim, they're much more strict. I'll give you an example, right? If I remember correctly, the Ashkenazim, they don't shave or take a haircut all 3 weeks. They don't touch. Yeah, that's what they do. 3 weeks they don't shave. That's one thing, right? We do. We can take a haircut. We can shave. On the 3 weeks, until when? Until the week of Tisha B'Av, right? That's the only time where you're not allowed to. What does that mean? After Shabbat, right? Sunday and Monday, right? Because I think the fast falls on Tuesday. Tisha B'Av is on Tuesday, so that means you cannot take a shave or haircut only Sunday and Monday, right? That's it. That's all you have. No, not from Rosh Chodesh, right? Not from Rosh Chodesh. We don't do from Rosh Chodesh. There are certain things we do from Rosh Chodesh, like we don't eat meat, something like that, right? But when it comes to shaving, when it comes to doing laundry, things like this, we only do the week of Tisha B'Av, which is this year. It's only Sunday and Monday. That's it. That's all you got. Not really much, There are some chachamim, there are some rabbis, unfortunately, who don't know the minhagim of the Sfaradim, even though they're Sfaradi. So they tell everybody like the minhagim of the Ashkenazim, And this is wrong, by the way. Why are you telling people you're Ashkenazi? Why are you telling them, these halachot of the Ashkenazim? You have to do like Sfaradim. We don't do like Ashkenazim. We don't have to do everything they do. They don't do our minhagim, so why should we do their minhagim? We have to switch. What is the? You ever see Ashkenazi guy who does Sfaradim minhagim? They don't do, right? So why should we do their minhagim? Everybody has their own minhag. That's the way it is, So we don't have to do all these things. There's also another thing, the Ashkenazim, they're makpid from Rosh Chodesh Av. They don't take a bath, no more showers. They don't bathe the whole body, but we same thing, right? We do bathe the whole body until when? Until the week of, again, right? Same thing, the week of Tisha B'Av, which is only Sunday and Monday. That's it, right? That's all you got. So what do we do in those days? We take a cold one, You can take a cold shower. You can even bathe the whole body, right? There are some poskim, by the way, who allow even a hot shower, you know? You know why? They say because today we're not bathing for pleasure, just to remove the sweat, you know? To remove, they say it's okay. Whoever wants to do like that, he has what to rely on, you know? The truth is, you know? We're not, because only bathing for pleasure was forbidden. Where do you see this, by the way? You know? It's a Gemara in the Masechet Brachot, over there, right? There's a Mishnah there, right? The Masechet Brachot. It says over there something interesting, you know? That Rabban Gamliel, right, who was the Nasi, right, the Gedol Hador over there, right? So he was, you know, his wife passed away, you know, so she was doing Avelut, you know what I mean? So they saw him, you know, when he was doing Avelut, you know, doing the Shiva, you know? He was, you know, he went to take a bath, you know, he went to the bathhouse, you know, Abano, you know? He went to the bathhouse. They asked him, they said, Rabbi, you know, what are you doing? What? It's not allowed to take a bath when you're Avel. Yep. So what did he answer them? He says, no, he says, it doesn't apply to me. Not shaykh. Why? Because I'm istanis. You know what's istanis? That means I'm very sensitive, you know? In other words, if I don't take a bath, I feel icky, you know? I can't take the sweat. You know what I mean? So what do you see from there? You see from there, right, that only bathing for pleasure was forbidden, you know, for pleasure. But if you're just doing it to remove the sweat or to remove some dirt, you know, whatever, this is allowed, no problem. You know, even on Tisha B'Av or Yom Kippur, right? Let's say a person has some dirt on his body, you know, something, you know, he's allowed to wash it off. What's the problem? Right? What, you have to have dirt on your body? What? You know, it's not talking about that. Yeah.
You can fly during those 3 weeks.
What do you want to do?
Fly.
Oh yeah, the flying is no problem, right? The Chazal never talk about flying, you know. So you can fly as much as you want, no problem, right? You can take a vacation. You know, some rabbis will tell you, no, don't take a vacation, you know. Who says, where does it say this? It says in the Talmud like this, or in the Shulchan Aruch? Where do you get this from? They just make it up, you know. They think, you know, yeah, I think right. It's like, what do you think? What are you thinking? You know, it's enough what the rabbis decreed on us. You want to add now more things, you know, from your own mind, you know, from your own head? Why do you want to add more things? For what? You want to give people problems? You know, it's enough, Dayenu, you know, whatever we have. You have to add now more things? You know, who gave you permission to add more to the Torah? You cannot do that, you know what I mean? That's the whole thing. So therefore, right, the rule is that we, you know, as we said, the Sfaradim, we're not so machmir like that. You know, that we don't shave the whole 3 weeks. And, you know, also these things, you know, we don't bathe, you know, and all these things. We're not so machmir like that. We're not like that. So that's you know, there's a lot more also to discuss, you know, about the 3 weeks. There's also, you know, the Ashkenazim, what they do is, you know, they don't go swimming, you know, in the pool, you know, whatever. They don't do that. We have no problem with that. You know, you can go swimming as much as you want, right? Whether it's after Yud Zayin Tammuz or even after Rosh Chodesh Av, there's no prohibition to go swimming. You know, whatever. So just have to be careful a little bit. That's the thing, you know. That's one thing. There's also another halacha, which is Yud Zayin Tammuz. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, it's too much. Yeah. Okay, I got you. Okay, so B'ezras Hashem, we'll continue next time. B'ezras Hashem. רבי חנניה בן עקשיא אומר, אצל הקדוש ברוך הוא זוהר, לפיכך חיבה לא תורה מצוות שבדון חפץ, למען צדקו יגדיל תורה ויאדיר.